So just to introduce today, my name is Heather Issing. I work for Glance. Bria is on as well under the Glance training. She's going to help us if we have any technical things that need to happen. But we are very excited to have Brett and Kale here to go through STAX with us today. It's an amazing product, and Glance as a company is very excited about this. So Kale will be monitoring the chat and answering questions around that. So please feel free to use that. And Brett is going to be giving us a webinar today, which is about 30 minutes. So Brett, if we can hold even 5-ish minutes at the end for questions, we tend to have a nice question and answer session at the end. So I'm going to go off and go mute and video off, but we're excited. And Brett, take it away.
Beautiful. Well, thanks, Heather. Thank you, Glance. And thank you, everybody that jumped on. I am going to try to be very efficient in presenting this product, which as a company, we're really excited about. I'm joining you, and Kale is joining you from Wichita, Kansas. That is the headquarters of Next, or Next LED. We started here in 2011. And so my intention today is to get your wheels turning as sign shops and sign salespeople, and maybe some fabricators and installers, or the people that you work with every day, on how this product might change how you've done business with electronic message centers in the past, or if you haven't started, how this may open the door for you to now start looking into this product option to make more money. I mean, that's really why we're all here, right? And so I am going to introduce STAX, which has been a game changer for our company. But before I get to STAX, I want to tell you a little bit about Next. We started, I partnered with my business partner, Luke Luttrell, who is our CEO, was a sign guy. All right, so that's important to remember. Everything we've ever done since we started this company in 2011 has been based on the background of a general manager of a sign company that worked on bucket trucks, that installed a lot of the first electronic message centers back in the early 2000s, that installed one of the first digital billboards in the country when Wichita was a test market for Clear Channel, and somebody that's had empathy, knowledge, and functional application of what sign guys deal with. So when he talked to me, my background was in advertising and marketing, and he introduced the concept of a advertising tool a business can put on in front of their own business on a pole, and my mind kind of started to explode, because at that time, in 2010 and 11, the world of television advertising and radio advertising and even print advertising, which was my background, was drastically changing. As you can imagine, little did I know the next decade would accelerate the drop-off of that viability of all of those mediums for small and medium-sized businesses to do advertising. So when Luke showed me this product, it blew my mind. But what we've done in Wichita, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, is for over a dozen years now, we're in our 13th year, we've been making a traditional message center. And for those of you that have sold some of the brands across the country, this is going to look familiar to you. But it's important that I show this to you, because STAX is a product that has been on the market for over 3 years now. But our core business started with your traditional path to market. And so when I think the title of this webinar is Turn Projects into Profit Faster, I want to show you how the process used to work and still works for a lot of people. But you see that we have, modules, completely sealed modules, a cable that's going to look familiar to you. But this cabinet is what is traditional in the message center world. So if a sign company sells a project to a restaurant or a church or a school, let's say it's a $30,000 LED sign. Typically what that sign shop has to do before we even start building the sign is send us half of those dollars. And you may get the down payment from your customer. Typically you do, but then you're going to outlay that down payment immediately, so that we start putting all these components together into a traditional cabinet. We wire our modules back to power supplies and sending and receiving card information. You open up the cabinet to get to these components if you ever need to service. And ultimately, it ends up in this sort of enclosed cabinet. Now, what I'm showing you is our Onyx product line. This product line is still on the market. We still build these in Wichita every day. I will say over the last 3 years, because of what I'm here to feature, the amount of these we build is decreasing daily. But ultimately, the sign company, after about 4 to 6 to 8 weeks, depending on who the manufacturer is, gets a big, heavy pallet with completed LED signs that are in a cabinet. that are about 7 inches deep with some angle iron on the top and bottom, right? And so this is the traditional path to market. You send me half down, I start building it. My guys in the shop build you a great product and send it to you on a big heavy pallet. STAX has changed that game. So a lot of what you're going to see when I show you this product looks similar. I like showing that product because that Onyx product is terrific. It has its certain limitations, as do many of the competitive products out in the field compared to what I'm here to feature. But it does have sealed modules. It does have ribbon cables. And it does have a control system that we have had on the market for 9 years now. So while STAX is in it's going on its 4th year now out in the market, a lot of the technology has been tried, tested, and true and proven through Next LED for many years with that product. But what is the game changer with this product? It is in stock across the country. And how can you stock message centers, right? You saw those big heavy pallets. There's no way Glance is going to put multiple 1,000-pound signs on shelves in California and Louisville and Pittsburgh, right? But hold on. With a modular system, we can now stock this so you can order that product when you need to. And I'll come back to that feature and benefit here in a minute. But the workhorse, the basis of this entire product is what we call a module. Some people would call them a panel, okay? These are a high definition SMD, meaning instead of having a red, green, and blue LED protrude through the face of the sign, the LEDs sit behind a single white diode. So SMD products, they've been on the market for a long time, but really in the last 5 years is the first time we've trusted the overall brightness of this type of a product. So this is a very bright product. I'll probably hit on that later. But again, the basis of this entire product is this module, which is exactly 12 inches by 24 inches, 1 foot by 2 foot. The back of this has all of those components you saw when I showed you the picture of the splayed open Onyx cabinet. All of that is built into this module, which makes it really, really easy to A, assemble, and B, service, okay? So this is the workhorse of the product, 1 foot by 2 foot panel. Our resolution is 9.5 millimeter or 6 millimeter. All right, so 9.5 millimeter, 6 millimeter, 1 by 2. The beauty again of this is that it is a modular system with a few components, as few as 5 components. You can build any size sign. So whether you're looking at a 2x6 for a small church or a 10x20 for a billboard, you are going to be able to get these components when you're ready for them from Glance and build your sign. So the sign shop simply gets these components. We send you exactly what you need, right? So you don't need to understand your bill of materials. We just send you what you need to build it. But we have 2 frames. So that's the second major component, a frame system. The one that I just stacked on is 1 foot by 2 foot. It obviously holds 1 module. This one hanging on the wall is 2 foot by 4 foot. So it holds 4 modules in the front. So we send you as few of these frames as you need to build any sign. And then you simply are going to bolt these together. You know, they still build bridges with bolts, and side to side, up and down. These frames have simple little alignment pins at the top, so it makes it really easy for your team to stack them up, bolt them together, and you're ready to go. These pins, I should mention, can also be used as lifting pins once you're ready to install, either in your shop, in a cabinet, or out in the field, and then they're removable, right? So very simple. You bolt these frames together, and from there, you can put on your modules. So whether you do this out in the field or you do this in the shop, these modules can be installed and serviced from the face of the sign. So with a simple little Allen key from the rear, there's 6 points of connection on each sign. So there I did one from the back, which is how you might do it in your shop, out in the field, with a couple of quarter turns and 6 points of connection. You've installed modules to the face of this frame. Now, since we're only 30 minutes in on this call, I'm not going to get into a ton of the flexibility of this, but once this product is built, it is only 3 5/8 inches deep. That is an absolute game changer. It is half the weight of your traditional message center, okay? And the fact that I can install that module in a multiple different ways is also a game changer when you're thinking about how can I make a job more profitable. So you could build your frame system in your shop, install it on a pole, and then have somebody else put the modules up. You could do it all together and hang it as one big sign and not worry about transporting it with modules. All of that goes to say that this will give your team a lot of flexibility in how you sell a message center product. So back to the components. I've got my frame system built. I've put my modules on. After that, this cable is going to look familiar to you because I showed you pictures of the ones we've been using for 9 years. You simply are going to daisy chain these modules together, right? And power and data travel through the daisy chain from one module to the next, ultimately creating a complete screen. The backs of these modules are color-coded to match the ends of these cables. So we want to make it as easy as possible for anybody at your shop that might be assembling this product. So I've got my frames, I've got my ribbon cables, I'm going to have power, and then I have a control box, which is the last major SKU. So the STAX product, if you have one simple takeaway beyond how easy it is to use, is that this is a absolutely turnkey solution. In my control box, this is the brains of the sign. I have my proprietary Next LED computers that we use. I've got some sending and some graphics card information in there. And then I have a Verizon cellular router in that box. So as soon as this box has power with a cable that we provide, it is going to come online with Verizon. As most of you probably know, in order to change a message to a sign, the sign needs to be online and you need to be online, right? So this sign is now online reliably nationwide with the Verizon network, and we pay for that data plan for life. So 0 charges for your customer down the line. Absolutely a game changer in terms of reliability versus the point-to-point radios we used to use 5 years ago. In addition, it allows our technical team to support the sign. So if something were to go wrong or a customer would have questions about their content or whatever, we can log in from Wichita and see any sign anywhere in the world. And to that end, your customer can change their sign in Louisville from anywhere in the world, whether they're on vacation in Paris or they're at the shop. And so it is an absolute turnkey solution. So how do you change your sign? We have a cloud-based software system. I'm happy to get into that a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and run a video that kind of explains our software and our approach to software so that you can understand when we come to work every day in Wichita at Next LED, we really have that end user in mind, okay? We obviously sell through sign shops and through distribution to sign shops. That is, 90% of our daily interaction, but we know that we have to build a product that when a dentist spends $50,000 with your company, he's going to be really happy with. And that extends not only to the software, but it extends to the leads that you get and the content that might be on that sign. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. This little video, Kale, jump in if my sound doesn't work because I always worry about that. But this is a simple way to look at our software in 2.5 minutes. The website I'm on right now is a toolbox, right? And so Kale's going to put the URL of this toolbox in the chat. This is for sign guys, right? You can go to nextled.com and nextledsigns.com and look at our general website like everybody has. But this has got a lot of resources, including shop drawings, including videos on how to explain the product. And I think you'll find that it's a great way to educate your team inside the shop. But this video specifically is a great way to explain how the software works to your customer without doing a full 1-hour demo.
We give them a $600 credit to use a tool called Presto, which is a revolutionary.
Oh, hang on, I got to rewind, guys. Sorry.
Allowing an end user to take
live TV is never that easy. Okay.
That was good though.
We know that most small businesses are making a major investment in this technology to drive their marketing. And it's not just a matter of buying a sign and putting it on a pole. It's how does the customer find success in using it? That's why Next offers a turnkey approach to sign management and content delivery. But beyond the software, we understand the importance of one-on-one human support, something that's largely missing in our industry. So we go the extra mile to make sure our customers have dedicated resources and people to assist their success, especially as it relates to training and support for the lifetime of the sign.
Every STAX system comes with a software platform for sign operation that is operated in the cloud. Users simply visit a URL from any device and have the ability to build their own content and schedule it as necessary. You can see here we're layering text and photos to create simple content and scheduling it in a way that makes sense for our display. For instance, this Euro 2 for $6 deal is scheduled at certain dates and certain times as necessary for our business operation. Another amazing thing about project content is that it allows you to network multiple displays, run the same content at certain stores and different content at others. When we talk about customer success at Next LED, it extends all the way down to the end user. Our end user customers make a major investment in LED technology to help their business or organization, which is why we have partnered with Project Content, the leading provider of digital sign content for outdoor displays. Project Content allows all of our users to download a multitude of templates as is for the life of their sign. But more than that, we give them a $600 credit to use a tool called Presto, which is a revolutionary in the digital sign industry, allowing an end user to take professionally made content and simply change the text or the message to match their needs. This allows any sign operator to quickly and easily access professional digital content without having a graphic design degree or a $10,000 software suite. Project Content and Presto can do things that no sign software can do. And it's important to Next LED that we help our end users make the most of their digital sign investment.
Okay, so there you see kind of the turnkey approach we take to the end user's experience, all right? And when I talk about experience, that includes training. That includes us taking care of the training for the sign company. We have very few sign companies that want to handle that. If you do, we can certainly work with you to do it, but everything we do is automated. So when you sell a sign, your team is going to get a schematic on exactly how to build it. Your customer is going to get their training credentials and their login credentials to the software, their opportunity to schedule one-on-one training. When John leaves a company and Sally shows up to run the sign, we're going to train her one-on-one if that's what she needs. So just like we will work with your installers and fabricators and take our sign industry knowledge to help you make sure you can make money and you understand the best practices out in the field, we do the same thing with your customers to make sure they're happy. Getting good content on a sign has been something we focused on since the first day we started in business, because everybody out there on this webinar that has sold one of these products before knows what I'm talking about. Somebody spends a bunch of money, they're really excited about it, they get into their sign software and they quickly realize, A, I'm not very good at this, B, I don't have time to do this, or C, a sign software allows me to create some stuff, but it doesn't make me a graphic designer. Which is why we develop Project Content. Presto has changed the game. I have sign companies that get their end users to use our tools to create their content. And guess what? Because as we know, keeping up with the Joneses is one reason we all sell more signs after we sell a first one. And when a customer has great content on their sign and their competitor drives by and wants to figure out who put up that sign versus the one across the street, they're going to go back to you as a sign shop because they typically can't tell the difference in brands or resolution even half the time if the content isn't great. But all in all, I'm trying to save some time at the end, but I hope that I demonstrated in 20 minutes how simple this product is. And again, this is in stock across the country. So when we talk about how can you make more money or get faster profit, these are the things I want you to think about. Instead of sending me 20 grand and waiting 6 weeks for a pallet to show up, you can get your down payment from your customer, build your other signage, get your install schedule lined out, and then order from Glance a couple of days before you need the sign. Some of the questions I always get is, but I have to build it. You do have to build this sign. But every sign shop I've ever been into has stacks of ACM, sticks of metal, rolls of vinyl. It seems to be that they build signs all of the time. And this is another component. We are letting sign builders be sign builders. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes to put together a 4x8. The time savings of that can extend in multiple ways. Just unloading a 1,200-pound pallet from a truck takes time. Moving a sign from one side of the shop to the next to get it out of the way takes time. Cash flow costs money. When you can order that sign right before your install, or order the expensive components right before your install and then bill your customer, that is a moneymaker and a profit turner. Being able to choose what job you might use this product on. There are a lot of great LED manufacturers in this country, and I have worked with companies that have, you know, been putting up time and temp units for 80 years, and they're dedicated to a certain manufacturer. But now they see the opportunity of, oh, the LED job, the EMC job I'm looking at is take down a white reader board and put up a high definition LED sign. I could potentially do that in less than a week. I get the order from the customer, I order the product from Glance, I get it on a truck the next day, I put it together and install it in a day. You could potentially bill a $40,000 job in five days. I know for a fact, I've watched a very small sign guy here in Wichita sell, order, and install a 9x16 wall mount sign. He installed it by himself with a rented scissor lift, a $200 rental, and bill a customer $85,000 in a 1-week turn. You know, that's probably 30% profit. So when you start thinking about how can I make more money with a different type of product, all of our technology is getting smaller, lighter, faster, better looking, and more reliable. All of those things apply to STAX versus even my traditional product, Onyx, or a lot of the competition out there. A couple of the last finer points, because I might just anticipate a few questions. Everything we have built, and we've been doing this for 9+ years in a wild climate. I don't know if anybody knows about Kansas, but we had, I think, 20 straight days over 100 last summer, and we were just had about 7 straight days of -30 wind chills the other day. So we are living in a great place to test technology, outdoor technology products, but everything on this product is solid state. Same with my Onyx line. I can leave this entire product wide open and take it through a car wash, and nothing needs to be vented, right? So I will warranty this product for 5 years with no ventilation requirements. So you can lag it directly into a wall. If you have 2 faces, most people put vents on skins between two sign faces because some is better than none. But I'm telling you, this is tried, tested, and true. This technology has, like I said, we've had it. We've been doing business with it for a long time before STAX was even a dream in our mind. We just re-architected the product. But if there is a service need, one of the last takeaways is anybody at your shop, I promise you, can service a STAX. All they have to do is be able to reach it and have an Allen key like this, because almost any service call is going to be a module replacement, which we try to do in one call. So if your customer calls us or they call you and you call us, hey, there's a black spot on my sign, no problem. We overnight you a replacement panel, or if Glance can get it there faster, they do. Then you go out and make one trip, take off the bad one, put on the new one. I actually just did a service call last week because the sign was near my house. 5 minutes in a 6-foot A-frame ladder. I have a timer. I have a really bad video that I tried to shoot, but I'm not good at that. So anyway, those are the benefits in 25 minutes. I've got 1 minute to spare. What kind of questions might we have out there?
So if you all want to put your questions in the chat, or you can, there's a button on the bottom of your screen to raise your hand, and we will unmute you if you would prefer to just ask your questions and not type your question.
While you guys are typing questions, I should mention that one thing we have got, we've done a lot of is one-on-one meetings in this same setting. So if you feel more comfortable like going through this on another time, talk to your Glance rep or email Kale or I, and we can set up, a one-on-one with your whole sales team or your whole fab team. Like I said, we started with a sign guy. We employ sign guys too. So it is not uncommon for us to take your best installer and put them together with a guy in our warehouse that's helped install a bunch of these and let them talk shop. How quick is it to get a quote? It should be absolutely minutes. So as soon as you can get somebody on the line, you tell us the size of your sign, the number of faces, and we like a job name or a job code just so we can keep them, keep track of them.
I might add
That's
on
how
that,
quick you can get
Janet.
a quote.
Janet, do you have you've got quoting abilities, right? I just want to make sure you do. I thought you did, but
So Glance, yes, so the Glance reps can also quote, but we work with Kale and Brett as well, so it should
Okay.
be.
I see a comment that says price, price, price. I don't know if that's a question or a new game show, but price, price, price. We are not the bottom of the barrel. We're probably not the top, but we're closer to the top than the bottom. This thing is a value loaded product. It is the best technology on the market. It comes backed up by a major trust builder, which you should feel great about having Glance behind you. You're not just buying a sign from a guy in Kansas that you saw online. So we work with Glance for a reason. They can stock it, get it to you fast, and we can invest in supporting it. But this is one of the best products I have seen on the market. So we'll certainly quote your projects and talk to you about them, but we're not trying to be the cheapest LED signs. We can never win that game. There's a lot of places you can go to get cheap LED signs.
And before you move to the next one, and just to reiterate, because I think Brett touched on this, we can help both Glance and Brett Kale, STAX company will help us with your customer. So if we need to do a Zoom, if we need to do, the quoting and the layouts quickly, we can help with that if you need help answering questions. So reach out to Glance and we will get Brett and or Kale on the line.
Absolutely. I just saw a question about the final depth. The controller box is 4 inches. Now I should say you can put this anywhere. So typically it's it's mounted on the back of one of the faces. There's typically a sign pole running through the middle, at least 6 inches for most signs. So really it's no problem, but you could put it in the soffit of a building. You could put it in a pole skirt as well. So depth kind of is up to the fabricator. So that flexibility is another big benefit of this. Are your modules built or assembled in the USA? No, we work with one of the largest manufacturers, probably a top 3 manufacturer in terms of size and focus in the world. So we've engineered the product. We build all our control boxes and multiple other products here in Wichita. But we work with an OEM supplier, just like every other LED sign company, regardless of what they may or may not have used to market or market. But absolutely one of the most trustworthy partners you can imagine. And that's how we can get it here and know that it's a great quality product.
Brett, there's a question about 120 volts. You want to speak to that real quick?
Yeah, power is a big thing. So our product is engineered because we understand that we used to bring a product to the market and then it was up to the sign shop to figure out electricity, right? Our product will work with anything from 110 to 240 auto switching. So regardless of what you need to pull to make what you need to pull out to a project to make it work from a cost perspective for your customer, we're going to make it as easy as possible. The max amps per module is like 1.15, but when you get a quote from us, you are going to see a very detailed electric requirements and specs. So we're going to suggest what you do with it, but ultimately we know that you guys are in charge of the electricity, or your subs might be as well. So we'll tell you what the max is. Most of us that have done LEDs for a long time know that these run at about 30% of their max, but we will show you everything on a detailed quote.
I want to hit the stock question. I think Randy asked about stock. So Randy, we have stock strategically placed throughout the US. So we can touch base with you if you need stock. We have a way to get that out quickly to our additional branches. And we can do things creatively. So we have strategically placed them throughout the US to make sure that we have a short lead time in various different pockets. So
I also see a question from Cindy asking about project content. So project content, just so you know, is a sign operation system that you have for life. All upgrades are included for life. The opportunity to create your own content is included for life. The opportunity to download pre-made content is included, in backgrounds and things like happy anniversary or Merry Christmas is included for life. The $600 credit goes to some of those upgrades, that Presto tool, custom content. And the way I kind of explain it is if you buy a new truck, you get, Sirius XM radio for 6 months. If you want to continue it so you can listen to Howard Stern or 70s on 7, you can do so with Sirius after the fact. If you don't want to, your radio still works. You can still Bluetooth to it, and you can still listen to AM and FM. So that's sort of the way project content works. We have found that most customers have found that it's like $50 a month for a basic plan, hence the $600 credit. Most customers find that they can't make a piece of bad content on their own for $50. So a lot of customers choose to continue, but if they don't want to, they can do just like they would with any other manufacturer and make their own content.
Jeff, I'm not sure I understand your question. Are the videos standard or proprietary? If you maybe want to pop in with your voice and maybe clarify a little bit. Or just type it into.
I mean, the videos that are created by Project Content are downloadable as MP4s. Project Content honestly started as a platform and still exists as a content creation platform that works on any product. So I don't know if that answers your question, but certainly we have professional designers using professional design tools and that understand outdoor signage, creating the content. And that's a big challenge. Even when I talk to really good marketing teams, they've never created for a 50 square foot sign that only has 160 pixels. They want to put a whole flyer on it. So what you see with Project Content is that it's really built for outdoor signage. We're not trying to take digital, online ads or interior digital sign ads and put them on a higher pixel matrix.
Yeah, and Jeff, maybe just a follow up to that, maybe what you're thinking. It's not like so you download that file, it's yours for life. It's not like, oh, if you got rid of your subscription, you don't have access to it anymore. So
Hey, what else? I think we've gotten through all the questions so far. Any other last questions before we wrap this up? This is recorded. Oh, go ahead, Kel.
I was just going to say, I just want to make sure if I've seen some new names on here that I haven't spoken to in person yet. If any of you don't have access to the quote tool or have just you just haven't run one yet and you need access again, I'd love to work with you. My colleague, Michael Caeza, who spent a lot of time in developing this app and making it what you guys really want and need. Love to get you on it because I know like Janet's done a lot of quoting. I think Jeff Nelson said he was on this call. He's done a lot of quoting. Keith Howard, David Mack. I'm missing names, but a lot of you guys have. So if you haven't, it's for you. And honestly, that's something that a lot of our competition is not doing. You could walk into a shop and while you're there, you're saying, hey, do you need any quotes? And they say, well, can you give me a 3x8? You could pull out your phone and within 30 seconds say, okay, I just sent it to your email. I mean, that's going to impress them too.
And for any sign shops that are on this webinar as well, let your Glance rep or let Kale or I know. One thing that is absolutely paramount to us is that we get things done fast. The product is in your hands fast. The quotes are in your hands fast. Hopefully checks from your customer are in your hands fast.
Yeah, so for any customers that are on line, we have a lot of reps on here. We've done a lot of training and we are all equipped to quote quickly. And if we need help, then we reach out. So we want to get you the information you need and support you into this product. So please do reach out to your branch, to your rep, and we are glad to support the quotes. Let me see, Kale, is there any other questions? I just closed my chat box. Let's see here.
I didn't see any. I think we've hit everything.
Kale,
Okay.
will you put our contact info up there just one more time? So
Sure.
we are sharing our cell phone numbers with you. It is the way we do business here. if you've got a, a selling question out in the field, let us know. If you, need some design support, if you need fabrication support. Bottom line is we want to be a turnkey resource because we have a lot of great customers and have for over a dozen years that sell this product and have seen how it can make money for their sign company. Regardless of if you're a small company or you've got a fleet of 12 service trucks, you can make a lot of profit dollars selling EMC units.
Okay. Let's see, can this?
Yeah, we do have the ability to turn that on, Todd. Not a lot of people use that notification, quite frankly, because they typically see it before they would get notified anyway. If they do have a remote situation, we'd like to talk to you about it. We can set up alerts on our end. We used to actually have that standard and it just didn't get used very much. So if you have a need for that, there are, in our world of technology versus the competition, features get thrown around and added and dropped and used all the time, including as we've developed products. So if it's something you're interested in, let us know.
All right. So this session was recorded. So once we get the recording out, marketing will have that, I believe, Bria, that will be located out on our website, but we will make sure you have that available. Again, we are here to support you. We're excited about this product. We very much thank Brett and Kale for being on today. So if you have any questions, please contact your branch or reach out to your Glance sales rep. And I think that is it. Thank you all for the questions.
Great. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.